we break down the iPhone 14 Pro. Apple just introduced 4 new smartphones: the iPhone 14, the 14 Plus, the 14 Pro, and the 14 Pro Max. But unfortunately, this year there will be no iPhone 14 mini. I'm sure you might say to yourself, what's new and why should I consider buying the iPhone 14 Pro over the other smartphones? Well, I'll tell you what's new, because this video is a detailed iPhone 14 Pro review. So if you're interested in finding out the best features of the iPhone 14 Pro, like the Dynamic Island, the 48-megapixel main photo sensor, the A16 Bionic chip, and more, stay tuned till the end of the video so you don't miss anything. Please support the channel, like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. It's free. Now, let's get started with the video. Without moving away too far from the iPhone 13 Pro, the iPhone 14 Pro is full of new innovations in terms of design. Indeed, on the iPhone 14 Pro, Apple pulled out the heavy artillery by equipping it with a Super Retina XDR screen of 6.1 inches, whose resolution is 2556 by 1179 pixels at 460 ppi. You will love the fact that its Super Retina XDR screen can now reach a brightness of up to 2000 nits for better visibility in bright light. The iPhone 14 Pro weighs only 206 grams and has a stainless steel case available in 4 colors: gold, silver, black, and deep purple. Apple has also removed the notch from its screen. This is one of the real novelties of the iPhone 14 Pro, and it is directly visible. Indeed, the notch becomes a small, black, pill-shaped cutout around the photo sensor, and this pill has been wrapped in a fully integrated interface that is called the Dynamic Island. As you can see, it offers a lot of stylish and interesting little animations that have been created around this pill that make the screen of the iPhone 14 Pro completely alive by displaying your most important notifications and more. And we think it's very clever from Apple to keep this pill format in the middle of the smartphone at the top. It's very distinctive, and it allows them to sell the Dynamic Island that you won't get on the iPhone 14, because the iPhone 14 keeps the notch of the iPhone 13. And if you buy the iPhone 14, you won't be able to take advantage of this new and stylish feature. On the iPhone 14 Pro, there is also a very interesting new feature thanks to the new screen, the Always-On Display mode. In this regard, Apple takes advantage of its OLED screen by adding the LTPO. This technology offers a dynamic refresh rate. Now, the refresh rate is dancing between 10 and 120 Hz when the smartphone is in use and can be reduced to 1 Hz when the screen is in standby mode. 1 Hz means the screen is refreshed every second, which reduces power consumption. As a result, Apple indirectly introduces a screensaver that displays information continuously, even when the smartphone is locked. On this model, the front camera and Face ID sensors are positioned in the Dynamic Island we mentioned earlier so they don't ruin the design. On the back of the iPhone 14 Pro, we immediately notice its huge photo module that features 3 camera sensors, including a wide-angle sensor you will love because it's a 48-megapixel sensor. The main 48-megapixel camera module is therefore the biggest photographic improvement between generations of iPhone for quite some time. Indeed, with up to 4,000 billion photographic calculations achievable per shot, the 14 Pro's camera has the juice to make the most of those 48 million photo sites in this new sensor. Even more, with the iPhone 14 Pro, Apple also introduces the pixel binning, which means you can use all those megapixels to get excellent and more pronounced photos, even in low light. But we're still on a smartphone, so the heart of the work is the algorithm. And here, Apple is killing it by really taking advantage of its software expertise through its Pro RAW format. Indeed, all high-end Android smartphones, such as the Galaxy S22 Ultra, use a similar technique. But Apple is the only player at the moment with a RAW format that makes it possible to shoot 48-megapixel Pro RAW files. So this would allow photographers who are more experienced to get a lot of data from the RAW files in order to retouch them more in depth later. Another interesting improvement here is the availability of the cinematic mode in 4K 30p that web and TV content creators will love. Even more, the other bonus of the iPhone 14 Pro comes from the stabilization, and thanks to its action mode, you can take advantage of the sensor's superior image definition to produce a very well stabilized 4K video stream, a kind of hypersmooth from GoPro, which means you can do without a gimbal in certain scenes. Under the hood, everything runs on a new chip called the A16 Bionic. It is a chip that is 40% more powerful than the competition and consumes less energy. Compared to the iPhone 13 Pro, the bandwidth memory of the iPhone 14 Pro has been increased by 50%. Apple also equipped this baby with a new AI technology called Neural Engine. Thanks to its 16 cores, it can handle 17 trillion operations per second, and Apple emphasizes the importance of this chip in taking pictures. When it comes to security, the True Depth sensor is available on the iPhone 14 Pro, and it also supports the new car accident detection features developed by Apple, as well as satellite communication for emergency messages. You will also love the other features aimed at protecting your personal data better than the solutions offered on Android. Among them, the Locate app, who can find your lost iPhone, iCloud Plus can hide your email address, and the iMessage format encrypts your exchanges from end to end. As far as autonomy and recharge are concerned, the battery of the iPhone 14 Pro can last up to 23 hours in video playback and about 20 hours in video streaming. And your battery can reach 50% after 30 minutes of charging with the 20 watts adapter. It is true that we would have liked to switch to USB-C, but no, we stay on the traditional Lightning port. On the memory side, the iPhone 14 Pro is available in 128GB, 256, 512, and 1 terabyte. Finally, the water resistance of the phone is also amazing. It can last around 30 minutes underwater at a depth of up to 6 meters. Alright guys, that is all for today. Please like the video if you found it helpful, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos. Check the links in the description for the best up-to-date pricing of the product mentioned in this video. And don't forget to subscribe, it's free! I hope to see you in the next video. Ciao!